Big number, big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
We own it.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And some room to roam now. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Matt Breida, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Ready. 55. Check 55.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And the Vikings first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He's got Smith here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
First down, Vikings.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Jackson. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Now a give, right side. Massey, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. On 1st down, here's Breida. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here's Breida. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
At the 22-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
50 seconds, 6-man.
On third down, Jackson. It's complete to Mitchell. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Matt Breida, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point forthcoming. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Move 15. 12. 12. 12. Move. Hey, we got 3 yards.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They run with Breida. And he stopped immediately there. Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson.
Hey, 81 right there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd down now, Massey. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
We got 3. Got it.
On 1st down, Wilson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Set.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it 6 points. So they've got nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Jackson, they'll roll him out right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
To throw is Wilson. That'll be caught by Rice. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Line 90. Mike 50, huh? Okay, double up.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Drop deep, zoom.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Come on, set. 70 ending. Line 54. Pick it up.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
I got you.
Jackson to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run this one in, and he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there,
They'll try to run this one in, and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's now 35-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Let's go. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
At their own 14-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Just like that.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. Finding room at the 30. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Looking here for Smith downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. They'll start on the ground with Breida. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run again with Breida, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
380. Check. Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left. Move. Out. Hayward. 3 down. Out. Watch safety creep. Creeping. Safety's creeping. Switch. Zebra. Kill.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Seahawks 49, Vikings 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Watch the run, watch the run.
On 3rd down, Massey. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On 2nd down, Massey. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here we go. Come on, tell me the ending. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I got you. I got you.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. He may try and run for this. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. On 2nd and 9, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matthew Ioannidis in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Check 24. Back.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Stanley. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You start to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And
what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
22, jet, bomber. 22, jet, bomber. Right, 54, right there. 54, Mike. Here we go.
Here's Jackson, throwing again. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10.
Mike 54.
Jackson will throw again. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now a give left side to Falk. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 33-yard line.
Fine, 90. Check. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want to.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wade. And he goes out right around the 39. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, 61 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Yeah, difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Ioannidis. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. The Vikings on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Here's Jackson to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Woods with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sione Takitaki. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brings up 3rd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away.
Check 24, check 24. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check 31, check.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now here's Michael Dixon. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
I got him.
To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Stanley. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson now. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Slam.
Check 13. Check 13.
Four down. Good job right there.
Now a handoff looking right. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. That's going to be caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Here we go. 25-yard line.
Let's go now. Come on, fix the outlaw. Check. Watch 54. Let's go, D.
On 1st down, Massey. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That's what I'm talking about. Here we go.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, not much more to say. They dropped to 1-11, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know what makes Pops and Dave win. Still here, still in your ear with a stop so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, ahead, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right, turn it up, giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot, and you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play, and you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We installed doubt in you Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Beat flow. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Steady. To the letter, right? Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flex. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left